Right, I'm just trying to share my screen. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great, perfect. Try again. Okay. So Alex has asked me to just present high-level marketing tips for small businesses, and that's the information that I pulled together. So as I'm going through that presentation, obviously I know sort of the type of businesses three of you are involved in, so I'll try to pull some things that are specific, might be specific to you as I go through this, but it's meant to provide sort of high-level information and tips that you might be able to utilize in your businesses. And then we'll have some time for questions and answers. But please feel free to jump in and type your questions. So ask your questions if you have them as I'm going through the slides. So just quickly, a little bit about myself. I'm local to New Eltham. I've been working in marketing for 9 years. I've primarily been working in business to business. And during my career, I've worked across different industries, including technology, pharmaceutical, finance, professional services, insurance, travel, automotive, and FMCG. And FMCG stands for food, drink, kind of perishable goods. So first things first, for your marketing, you need to get the basics right. So as obvious as it sounds, but you need to know your audience and understand who your customers are, which I'm sure you do. But it's, if you're not sure, if you need to think about what your, I guess, ideal customer looks like, make sure you take a pause and you have a think about, what that person looks like. I would also always recommend that you know your elevator pitch. So if somebody asks you on the street what you do for a living, what your business does, make sure that you are able to communicate it clearly in a short, coherent sentence or two. So so yeah, have a think about that as well. It's important to have a website and have this updated, because quite often it could be the first point of contact between you and your potential customer. So having the updated information on what services you offer, what products you offer, a little bit about you and how they can find you or contact you is really important. And yeah, making it easy for customers to find you. Again, yeah, make sure that that information is available. Other things that will help customers to find you is being engaged with social media, local community groups, and yeah, getting in touch with people this way as well. I know not everyone will have a marketing and sales plan, but planning ahead does pay off. So if you set yourself a plan for your business, for example, to grow next year and you want to generate a certain revenue, it's worth to work from that and think about how you're going to achieve that through your sales and marketing efforts. So it's always really recommended to think back from your business objectives and think about how marketing and sales can support you to meet those business objectives. So try to plan it out if you have resources to do that, if you have time to do that. That will be the most effective way of achieving your business objectives. For marketing, there are 4 stages of the customer journey that we think about. The first stage is the awareness stage, and this is where a customer doesn't know about you, and you need to do a bit of education around letting them know what you do and putting yourself and your business on their radar so they can actually find you. Then the second stage is consideration stage. So this is where a customer is considering to buy a product which is similar to what you're offering. So they could be, on the market looking for solutions or products that are similar to yours. And this is where you need to make sure that you have content or information available that will help to convince them that your products are the right products to buy. And then there is the decision stage. This is where they really kind of narrow down their choice between maybe 2 two different suppliers, and you need to convince them that you are in fact the right supplier for them to go through, so to go to. And then lastly, once you've got your customers, you obviously want to retain them, because from the businesses that I understand, 3 of you have reoccurring business from existing customers. So keeping existing customers is very important to you. And as you can see on the slide, I'll quickly go through it, but there is a number of different tactics that you can utilize to help you with each of those stage. So in terms of being able to helping your customers to get discovered, there is a number of things you can do. You can create blog posts that could be around relevant topics. So for example, Jill could write about the best sourdough, or maybe even how to make sourdough bread, and entice people into the idea of making sourdough bread, but in reality people will be lazy to make it themselves, and they will come to you to buy it. Same for gardening, maybe creating some blog content around gardening tips and tricks, and starting to make that association between why that you are an expert, so they're going to you to learn those tips, but in fact by association they might not have time to do that themselves, so they'll start thinking about you as an expert who might help them in that area to provide that service or provide that product. There are visual things that you can do. So if you have capabilities or resources to do that, you can do infographics, you can create checklists. So yeah, again, maybe thinking about gardening, in terms of gardening checklist, you can have a sort of checklist preparing for the summer. So maybe thinking a year ahead, preparing for summer, what you should do to your garden to make it ready for summer. You can be creative and just think about things that people might be researching around the service that you deliver in, to make them discover you and discover that you're associated with the service that they might need. In the consideration stage, they will be looking for sort of more solid information about you and why they should choose you. So this is where customer testimonials play a really good role. So for example, Chris, why people love shopping at Nisa, why they find I always find everything I need at Nisa, or I always find a really good selection of ciders. Maybe resurfacing customer testimonials to help people decide that your shop is worth visiting. There might be some videos that you could be creating. Again, gardening and bread making are the two easy ones that come to mind. Maybe how-to videos, so how to create a certain type of bread, or how to do a certain gardening chore that people might not know about. So maybe setting up a YouTube channel and promoting those through Facebook or other social media channels that you have. Case studies, I don't think it's relevant for the businesses that I know are on the call, but if you had a more complex business where you were delivering a more complex service, actually it might be relevant for gardening. So maybe if you offering a bit of landscape and you do big redesigns of the gardens, maybe you want to do like a mini case study and showcase what someone's garden looked like beforehand. Maybe it looked like a complete tip, and outlining what what the issue was and exactly what you've done. Like, I've laid out the pavements, I created a patio area, I planted beautiful flowers, I've redone the lawn. So you could really describe the scope of work that you've done to help somebody understand your capabilities and the benefit that your customer got from contracting your service. Around the decision, sometimes it's just a little convincer. So as I say, during decision stage, people typically have shortlisted 2 suppliers, maybe 3 that they want to go with. So they really need like a nudge, something to convince them that you are the right person to go for. And as we are talking about, local element as well, It might just be that you're like the nice person for them to deal with. They just like speaking to you as a person. They know you personally. That's why they're going to go for, and that's what's going to like drive them over the line of making that decision. Maybe they met you at an event. Maybe, Jill, maybe they met you at one of the farmers market. They bought bread from you, and then they saw that you sell bread online, so they make that association. Oh, I met Jill, she's a nice person, I need some fresh bread, I'm going to buy it from Jill. But for other businesses, it could be a little bit more different. So it could be that you want to offer a free trial. Maybe you want to demonstrate the value you're going to deliver, or maybe there is a more detailed quote on estimate you need to provide them before they can make a decision whether to go with you or not. During the retention stage, you just want to be you want to be nice to your customers, and we want to continue the conversation and kind of proving them that your product or service is still the best one for them to continue with in terms of quality, in terms of price, and in terms of convenience for them to get it. And then I pulled together a few marketing tips that you can start thinking about perhaps implementing in your day-to-day, and how you raise awareness about your products and you speak to your existing customers. So one is content marketing. So don't underestimate the value of people wanting to find out about you or find out about your product without speaking to you. So this is where you can, create information, tips to aid the research phase. As I mentioned earlier, perhaps it could be blogs on how to do something, how to bake a loaf of sourdough bread, or how to prepare your garden for summer. Or it could be, Chris, for Nisa, it could be our top sellers this month, or something around the best products that you have at the moment in Nisa that maybe not everyone knows about, and maybe there's something special that you stock and people don't know about it, and will draw people to come to your shop. Some content, think about content that will position you as an expert. Again, there's how-to videos and how-to blogs. It's always like a really easy win, because by association, if you're able to explain to someone how to do something, if they don't have time to do it themselves, they will just choose to buy it from you instead. So positioning yourself, think about how you will position yourself as an expert to your potential customers. Make it easy for customers to learn about your services and why they should work with you. And this could be as simple as just making sure that your website has this information, as simple as having about you information. And trust me, not every website does. Sometimes it's really difficult to find, but make sure it's really easy for them to find out who you are and what service you deliver, and it's really clear from your website what that is. And in terms of why they should work with you, you could just think about what makes you stand out from your competition. And it could be as simple as maybe having 3-5 bullet points. What makes you different, why you are better than your competition. And again, it's something that will help your customers kind of convince them through you helping them to do thinking for them. And then it's obviously their choice whether they agree with that or not, but at least you're nudging them in that direction. Snackable content is really good for content marketing as well. Just thinking about short content that you can resurface on social media, such as maybe 1 minute, 2-minute videos maximum that you can promote on social media. They always perform really well. Anything with visual content performs well on social media. So maybe some highlighting, some graphics or images. Again, thinking about the businesses that you guys told me that you do on this call. Images could be, fresh batch of bread, or again, for Nisa, maybe, you know, special products you have, or maybe you have just had like a fresh delivery of you know, some special muffins or something that just arrived. Just being able to kind of surface that content and make somebody come into your shop for one thing, and then obviously they'll do the rest of their shopping while they're there. And same thinking about the gardening. For gardening, it could be like a before and after, simplest before and after graphics. If you're doing a bit more complicated work on a garden, you could take before and after picture and post that with a little message on social media, just to say, you know, I've just done work on this garden and this is before and after. Again, something that will, you know, entice people to look at you. Tip number 2 is leveraging communities. So we're obviously here as part of NIBA Call, and I thought not including something around leveraging community would be criminal. So think local, think about what opportunities you have with, you know, local customers and to partner up with local organizations. You can look at local initiatives taking place and try to get involved. Obviously, with everything that's happening around COVID-19 at the moment, a lot of events have been cancelled or postponed, but there might be something happening digitally where you can tag yourself and try to get involved this way. Certainly when events are back, that's going to be an easy win to, you know, to get involved with maybe local schools. There may be sports activities where you can find a way to work with those organizations to attach your name to those events taking place, to raise awareness of your company. Direct marketing, leaflets, it works for some businesses, it doesn't for others. So you need to think carefully about that one. So what we mean by direct marketing and leaflets, it's literally going around local houses and sort of dropping leaflets about your business. It works if your business is very, very local, I would say, and you want, you know, people who are in very close proximity to come to you. But there's obviously a cost involved on of getting those leaflets created, printed, and dropped. As I say, sometimes it's a really easy way to put yourself on a radar, especially if you're a new business and people just don't know you. So it could be a really easy way of doing it. It also could be an interesting way of doing it if you have perhaps like a slightly older target audience, because maybe they're not as active on internet, maybe they're not as active on social media. So that could be a better way of reaching them. So certainly something to consider and think about when you think about ways of reaching local community. Certainly make friends with people at NIBA and try to form partnerships. If there is a synergy between some of the businesses, there might be an opportunity to cross-promote each other's services. So have a think about, who, you know, what businesses there are in NIBA, and if there is an opportunity to partner up and cross-promote each other. And network, you know, try to get to know your local community, try to, you know, not just get involved with local initiatives, but try to find ways of getting to know people and getting them to recommend you, because, you know, social recommendations go a really long way. And I think probably, you know, I would imagine majority of people on this call, if not everyone, is part of New Eltham Facebook group, or maybe Nextdoor, maybe some others, but you know, the recommendation from a customer there would go a really long way. So if you're making friends and you're networking and you're getting to know people, that will definitely help. Customer advocacy. So make sure your customers are happy. Make sure your customers are happy and they you know, prepared to say nice things about you, because nothing is powerful as customer recommendation or customer, you know, you being able to say that I've done X, Y, and Z for a customer and they're really happy. people, especially for like more complex and more expensive purchases, that people like to have a safety of knowing that somebody else has done it before them. So yeah, so customer recommendation and testimonial goes a really long way. So try to, if you have a good relationship with some of the customers, try asking them just nicely if they would be happy to write a couple of words on your Facebook page, or write a couple of words and provide them to you so you can post them on your website. It's really easy to do, and if you're not sure, or if you feel a bit awkward about doing this, you can think about how you could save someone's time in helping you do that. You quite often, obviously you will know what service you deliver to a customer, so you can send a suggestion. You can send a polite suggestion and say, hi Mike, I've done some work, like, so for example, this hypothetical Mike is someone that John has been doing gardening for the last year, and he knows that Mike is really happy with his work. So he can say, hey Mike, would you mind writing a testimonial on my Facebook or website page or whatever, and you can suggest what they write, right? If you think that they're really busy because they are, I don't know, a heart surgeon or someone who doesn't have a lot of time, you could suggest something that they write. You could say, could you please write, John has done XYZ in my garden, and after that I'm so delighted to go into my garden and look outside. You can suggest what they write for you, because it will save their time. It will, save them from thinking on your behalf. And again, it's really, really powerful. So do make sure that you invest time in making sure that you've got customer testimonials handy if you don't already. You can incentivize referrals. Again, it's not going to be suitable for every business, but in some instances, if you've got happy customers and you can incentivize them to refer other customers to you. You can I don't know, offer them I don't know, free loaf of bread if they bring 5 customers, or you can offer them a discount of the next service that they receive from you, but something that will will be a really easy ask for them, because they already love the service or product they received from you, but it will also gain them some brownie points or an extra nice thing for them. You can invite customers to prospect events. So again, this is probably more relevant, I would say, for sort of larger volume sales, or larger price tag sales, I would say, where you need to do more convincing because the price is higher and people would want to understand why they should buy from you, and you need to invest some time into explaining why your solution or product is the best. In those instances, events do work really well, where you have a smaller group of people and you really can connect them one-to-one and give them an opportunity to learn more about you, ask questions. Just thinking about maybe Nisa. So maybe Nisa, I don't know, Chris, if you do product launches or something like that, but that could be, I don't know, it's not necessarily a prospect event, but it could be a draw to the business where, I don't know, like a supplier is launching a new product in you and you think it's the local community might be excited about it. If you have customer data, or if you have a mechanism to capture your customer data, because I know not everyone is selling through their website, not everyone will have their customer's email address or contact number, but it's worth starting to think about how you can collect this, because again, you can it's another way for you to keep on their radar, because especially smaller purchases, they sometimes impulsive, or sometimes people just they could forget about you, although they really enjoyed buying products from you or receiving service from you. They could just forget, life gets in the way, and they could forget. So newsletters are a good reminder to just the fact that you exist, but also highlighting something that might be of interest to them. So again, it could be flavor of the month, like new breads that Jill, you're introducing. You could write about that, or this could be a nice opportunity to resurface your how-to videos or how-to blogs that you're creating. In this newsletter, I'm going to show you how to thinking about the gardening task, how to make sure that you have a perfect lawn. I don't know, but you can think about some content that might be of interest to your customers. And for Nisa, for example, it could be highlighting new products that come in stock, or maybe special offers that are on that particular week or a month, depending on the frequency of emails that you're going to be sending. And as simple as it sounds, like, keep existing customers happy. Especially if they're reoccurring customers, you obviously want them to continue coming back to you and buying from you, because it's much more expensive in terms of time and in terms of money to acquire a new customer than to keep the existing customer happy. So as obvious as it sounds, just keep your existing customers happy. Create a buzz about your business is the tip number 4. So to create a buzz, you can try and leverage PR. So that's press activities. Think about local press, or maybe more national press opportunities that you can engage with. For local press activities, there is a SE magazine that I know they post a lot of content around local businesses and the owners behind them. So that could be a good opportunity for you to explore, maybe contacting SE editors and asking them if they would be interested in doing a story on you, telling them a little bit about what you've been doing recently and why your story might be compelling. They do post a lot of content around local businesses, so I think that could be like a really easy win. If you are doing something interesting that might resonate on a more national level, you can even try to think about contacting relevant publications. It could be, I don't know, it could be a gardening magazine that you could contribute content on, again, something around how to keep a perfect lawn, or something to just resurface your name, and get it there. Or you can think about just think about what publications your target customer is likely to consume, and try to think if there is an opportunity for you to contribute content to those publications. Journalists are, I don't want to say lazy, but some journalists are lazy, and they would always welcome somebody proactively coming to them with a story. And even better, if you will propose to write that story on their behalf, even better. So it could be a really easy win if you just do like a bit of proactive thinking, where you can do a bit of press activity for your business. Leverage social media to get your message out. Think about what local groups you should be a member of, where your customers and prospects hang out. Find a balance, obviously, where you don't come across too salesy. Nobody wants kind of a message pushed out for the service that they're not interested in. Just think about the audience of the groups that you sending it to. For example, if you're joining the group and there are 5,000 people in there, and not everyone at that particular moment might be looking for a gardener, but if you're part of that community, when somebody is looking for a gardener, you could make a recommendation about yourself, and you can try to convince them to have a look at you. If you have a social media pages, keep them updated, but also think carefully what channels will be right for you. So, for example, Facebook is a good channel for local activities. So maybe consider whether having a Facebook group will be relevant for you, because if you have a Facebook page, if you have a Facebook page, then you can start building the audience that way of people who are directly interested in your business, and then you can send messages to that group who are engaged with you already. For some businesses that are more visual, Instagram might be a good channel to consider, especially if you're targeting potentially a younger audience. Instagram could be a good channel to consider as well. If your products are visual, and if you're a good photographer as well. If you're not a very good photographer, Instagram is probably not a channel for you, because that's where people go for visual intake. You can also consider to volunteer for public speaking. Again, creating a buzz around you as an individual, and around your business by association. So it could be speaking at local events, volunteering to speak at I don't know, maybe schools, but somewhere where, again, it will help you to position yourself as an expert in your particular area. And by association, that group of people will start thinking about you as an expert and consider you to deliver the service or products that they might be looking for in future. And last tip is you can consider giving it away. So I wouldn't recommend it for everyone, but in some instances and for some products, it could be really effective if you, especially to gain new customers. Maybe if your sales pipeline is looking a little bit low towards the end of the year, or next month, you could consider whether you can incentivize people to try you, to give you a try. So you can consider giving money off coupons or free trials, giving away free samples, and again, Jill and bread business comes to mind, because when things are back to normal during farmers market, I'm sure you do this already, but you can give away like small samples of your bread so people can try it before they buy. That always works really well. For Nisa, it could be also, maybe if it's a new product, you can provide some samples, or maybe there are just offers on that will incentivize people to buy more from you at the same time. For some people, bundles or free gifts work. So maybe it's buy 3 things from me and get the 4th one free. It also could be a good way of ensuring that you have more business secured up front. So it could be, I don't know, it could be that on every 10th gardening visit, somebody gets maybe not a free visit, but maybe they get a certain discount as a customer that keeps coming back to you if you need to secure like a longer chunk of business. Some businesses are really successful in selling blocks of something. So it could be, 10 sessions. If you buy 10 sessions from me, you buy them cheaper than buying 10 sessions separately. For more complex and higher price tag businesses, it's worth considering sort of like free consultancy, where people can drop in and just pick your brains and get knowledge from you, get some free advice essentially on how they can go about solving the issue, which hint you can help them with, but essentially the idea here is that you're providing free consultation, free advice, and then if they want, they can try and use the knowledge that you gave them to try and resolve it themselves, but the hope is that they will find it too complicated, or they don't understand it well enough, and they will ask you to help them resolve that issue. With that, I finished my presentation, and I know there's a lot of people who have issues with audio, so feel free to either tell me your questions out loud, or maybe send them on chat, and I'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah, Joe, I put you on mute because there was a bit of background noise, so just to not affect Natasha when she was talking. So if you want to make any questions, please unmute yourself. And Chris and John, if you want to put some of your questions that you may have on the chat window, that will be very helpful. I think we have one here. Just appreciating, yeah. Just giving like something from my perspective. I provide lots of consultancy services, and then at the beginning, you know, like any business is starting up, it might be quite difficult, and I start giving a good chunk of my knowledge away for free to actually someone. Sorry, Chris, I'm gonna put you on mute because you have audio feedback. And I started doing some videos on YouTube, giving some of my knowledge away and just helping people out of trying to help them. And that actually created a lot of traction from places I could never imagine. Of course, it varies from business to business, but I managed to get some leads from some places and even from different countries I would never imagine. And it will be the same for you. Maybe we'll get customers from Sidcup, from some other areas that are not necessarily new Eltham, but because you're engaging with them in social media, you're explaining them what you do, you have a nice website, you are helping the community, they can see that you are legit. You're not just like a chancer trying to pocket money and then run away. You're actually a legit established local company. And that's what people want to do. They want to buy from who they know. They want to know that if they have a problem, they can find you. You're a real person. You're not just like a random person calling from the data center, God knows where. So I highly recommend from my, from a personal experience with my business, engaging social is very, very powerful. John is saying that we have lots of food outlets here locally. So I think, John, you have mentioned this once as well about perhaps creating some sort of local incentive, that there are some points that you can build up and spend in any local business just to incentivize that money to be spent locally. So there might be something as well that we can later stage try to engage with other local businesses. Some sort of like I think I mentioned this once, Brixton has its Brixton Pound. That's like its own currency. You spend locally, and then that money tends to run around 6 or 7 times before it actually leaves. And that's really powerful. Normally, the money goes into a store, and then that's it. It goes away. That way, we keep the money running locally several times over. So I think there will be like some ideas that we could try. Has anyone else got any questions? Jill, I don't know if you have any questions, just how to try to increase your customer base, as we mentioned a couple of times when we saw each other. I don't know if you have any questions about it. Maybe not.
No, it's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, Chris. Yes.
Yeah. I would like my Facebook page updated and everything else, because our business is very complicated. Like trying to do deliveries, everything else.
Yeah.
It's we got a good customer base. He's trying to make him. We've been trying to find somebody to do our Facebook page, update it and make it look more normal. And like she said, good ideas where you do the special offers we can put on straight on for the weekly offers and things like that on top of what we normally do. We do the leaflet distribution and everything else, but it's basically, I don't know if she wants to spend time here and pay her to do it or whatever. It's finding somebody to do the website and everything else.
Yeah, we don't like do the kind of stuff. It's like Natasha works just in a bigger marketing company, on their own industry. I think it's something that we can start engaging with local people to see who can do the kind of job if you're looking for. And it might be your neighbor. You don't know. We might start asking the question if there is anyone that can work on a hourly basis to help doing some of your Facebook posts, or helping with the copyright, or helping taking pictures of your products to make them look more appealing on a Facebook page. I'm sure there will be people locally willing to do that kind of work, perhaps on a, helping first and then engaging in some sort of like a recurring sort of like.
It's hard to find people like that, because people who do it already don't want to do it anymore privately. It's just finding a company or somebody who does it all the time. So,
Well, yeah, I guess that's something like if we start seeing more demand for this kind of services, we can start talking to other businesses and see, shall we all like share the costs of hiring someone that does this kind of service, and that person does amount of hours for each one of our businesses. So let's say we create a cooperative for actually social media.
Yeah, and Chris, is it just a time issue for you, or you kind of, because Facebook page is fairly straightforward, so is it just a timing issue, or is it like a knowledge gap where you?
It's both. It's just time issues. The thing is, we're so busy, and the thing is, we got more busier over the last 12 weeks, and it's the time issue with everything. But the problem is, if you can get somebody to update it all and do it all, because some of the things you talk about, like we help the schools, we do all that. We do at the moment deliveries to only old people who've got no internet. We do all those things. It's trying to get it onto there and saying, look, if you really need help, we can help you deliver and everything else.
Yeah, and do people know about the services they're offering?
No, they don't. The thing is, we've been doing this for 20 years, delivering to old people who don't have any, used to be customers and who can't come in. Yeah. And people are in isolation have been doing deliveries to, because it's only by word of mouth. I've done to one, and then told somebody else, and told somebody else. But it's like we're not doing just normal people. We're just doing people who, the old people who don't have any internet, who phone us, and we do that. We deliver to them and things like that. But it's just trying to get the Facebook page updated, and we're getting our promotions on there every week updated, and things like that.
Yeah. Do you want to
Chris,
increase your?
No, I was going to say, Chris, if you're still stuck in a couple of months, I might take it on as a hobby when I go on maternity leave.
I don't mind. I tell you what, I don't mind paying you if you want to come and do it.
Our goal here is to help each other. It's like from us to share everything that we know with you, and then hopefully this will make you feel like sharing what you know as well with other people, and then we help each other out. So the whole point here is like, if we can donate some of our time to help you guys to make our business more resilient, it will help us, because we have a couple of daughters now that will be happy, running around in a safer place and then buying stuff from you, because we know that you're selling legit stuff as well, your personal integrity. So it comes around. So we want to incentivize this more.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the thing is we got an expert here, who can help us. So it's not a problem of is getting somebody here to come and do it all, Once it's done, it's fine, Then you can carry on. Once you show I can do it and it's done on here, the problem is you're going to understand that a lot of these businesses have older people in there and don't have time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you can get somebody, like she came and did one, and then you can say, well, this is what we did for this anybody, and then this is what you can do and what you can achieve.
Yeah, okay. We can look into doing that. Like Natasha said, I think it might be a good hobby to do from time to time when.
No, I don't want you to do it as hobby. I want you to do. I don't want you to do it as hobby. I want you to pay you and do it. It's fine. It's not a problem. It's not a hobby thing. I pay you to do it, and afterwards you can help other people and do hobbies, and it's fine. You understand? It's easy.
Yeah, fair enough. No, it's just like our idea is to try to share the knowledge here, and we are not trying to sell anything. We are trying just to help other businesses to
No, but
grow.
You can help both ways. I mean, if you have an expert, and you are an expert as well. And if you can do the other side, with some people will say, no, we don't just pay you, and can you just do it? Do you understand?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, where you find because we're busy and we have a high turnover and we have a lot of customer people coming in and things like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
We have over 5,000 customers a week, so it's not like.
That's a lot.
It's like, so it's not like we can try and do it ourselves and try and do everything else. It's just impossible. I have tried to do it. I have asked loads of companies to come and do it, but a lot of companies don't want to spend time. I think maybe because we're a small business.
Yeah.
They want to
Maybe
do,
what
they want
we-
to do, they want to do big businesses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe what we can try to do is a way that we can easily replicate this. So we can create some recipes how to do this, some step-by-step guides that are more targeting the local community here, and then we can distribute this as like an incentive to be a member of NIBA.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can do. Yeah.
Well, one thing that I'm thinking about maybe it's probably going to be helpful for a lot of people, but as I understand, quite a lot of you use social media and kind of taking advantage of local communities. So maybe what I can show you how to do, just for the benefit of the wider group, is how to pre-schedule some of the messages, because there are tools out there where you can just spend like 1 hour a month, for example, thinking about what messages you can send for the next month to your audience, and you can pre-schedule them. So you can say that, you know, next week you're going to promote this special offer, the week after you're going to promote the customer testimonial, somebody who's been really happy with you, the week after you're going to promote something else. So you can schedule that ahead of time. So literally just once a month you can sit down for 1 hour, think about what your content is going to be and schedule it ahead of time. Showing that to everyone might be helpful for the benefit of the wider group.
Yes, I mean, if you can do, people can do their own special offers for a month or Christmas offers and things like that. But he's trying to do that. I mean, he's trying to do that and you know, show us how to do it
Yeah.
and things like
Because
that. So once
think
once you've done it, once you show us everything, that's fine. But it's the
Yeah.
main thing is like everywhere else. It's all right I mean, I've been told we've got hundreds of messages, but I can't see any messages on my website or Facebook page or anything, you know?
Yeah.
But he's trying to get that first thing done, is to get the page done and get it all ready and everything else. Then everything else will follow, isn't it?
Yeah, we can find ways of like trying to help everyone with this. Perhaps create some very quick how to do guides on the NIBA website. So this video can be the first one of many to come with tips how to do things. And yeah, I can definitely see this working, and we're creating something that everyone can use, because I think that's the main thing. We need to do something here which can help everyone as a community.
No, it'd be good. Yeah, it'd be good to help everybody try and get it done.
Yep.
You know, if everybody has a Facebook page on the NIBA website, and then
Yeah.
at least you can see a lot of business will pay to have that. So on the Facebook, so when they go to NIBA, they can see all the Facebook pages and connect to it.
Yeah. Cool.
So
No, sounds cool. Has anyone else got any further questions? John, I don't know if you have anything to add. Let me see here the chat. Oh, sorry, I saw John posted a couple messages here. Yeah, he's saying that John is saying that there is the list of businesses or members of NIBA. There is at least 25 of them that should have a minimum of one web page on the NIBA website, which I'm doing now. And yeah, John, so far I haven't got much feedback about the website. So I'm gonna finish it myself, and I'm gonna put it live, and then I'm gonna start approaching each business individually going forward. And yeah, you're saying that is there an IT teacher in the school that could help? I don't know, but if you have a contact, please feel free to share with us. The more people that we can get to share the load of like tasks here, the better it will be. Yeah, so if you guys know anyone that will be willing to give a hand to help with anything, even to bounce ideas, please send them our way.
yeah, no problem.
Cool. I think we should wrap it. It's now 7 o'clock. And Natasha, thank you very much for your time, sharing all your knowledge. Really appreciate it. And hopefully, you know, we'll be able to do this in another month or so and have a bigger audience as well, so people will see what they're missing out.
All right.
Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you, Natasha. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good
Okay.
evening.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.